This is another episode of Dangerous Ideas. My name is Shawn Kanungo. I'm an innovation strategist. What we do is we break down concepts and frameworks that will change your life. Oh, wow. Hey everyone, this is another episode of Dangerous Ideas. My name is Shawn Kanungo, and what we do on this podcast is we break down concepts and frameworks that will change your life, change your business, change your career, or change your life. Listen, at the end of this podcast, we're going to be breaking down some current events. I'm going to recap my incredible 40th birthday trip to Spain. I just came back a couple days ago, but this podcast is incredibly important because we're entering into 2025 next year. This podcast is all about my AI predictions for 2025. I got 5 predictions for you. Incredibly dangerous, somewhat dangerous, and then incredibly dangerous ideas. So the first prediction for 2025. After 2 years since ChatGPT has come out, finally in 2025, AI will become a habit. AI will become a habit. You know, it's interesting. When I was in high school and the search engines were coming out, at the time, I was using Alta Vista, Yahoo, Google. We had no idea which platform would end up being the winner. And of course, it ended up being Google. And since that time, over the last number of decades, Google has been dominant in the search engine category. Actually, approximately 90% of the search market is owned by Google. And for the first time in decades, their monopoly is going to be disrupted because AI is becoming a habit. It is getting integrated in almost every single facet of our lives, from Microsoft Copilot to us using ChatGPT to Perplexity to Claude. The rapid increase, people are saying that there are stats out there that are saying 20 to 30% month-to-month growth in terms of their queries using AI. It's going to be normal. People are already using AI as their default way of searching information online in terms of finding answers. This is going to be a habit. And when something becomes a habit, it becomes undeniable. We are creatures of habit. And Google is going to get disrupted by some of these different players. Now, of course, Google with Gemini is making a huge push for their own AI capabilities. But the reality is that the company that creates the habit always wins. We see this with every other technological platform. Uber has become a verb, right? When something becomes a verb, it just becomes part of our daily routine. And this is why, ChatGPT, it has a leg up because people are used to it. They're using it not only for their personal lives, but also for work. And I think 2025 is going to be the first year where you're going to see people that have been hearing about this AI revolution. Like, everyone is going to use this. This is going to be ubiquitous. Everyone is going to use AI, and it's going to become a habit. 2025, the year of AI becoming a habit. Second prediction, the Minority Report is coming. What do I mean by this? The Minority Report was a incredible movie. Tom Cruise was in it. It was set in the future. And one of the most compelling parts of Minority Report was around the advertising. Characters in the movie would walk past an ad, and not only would it be personalized, but it would be incredibly compelling and sophisticated, and it would be an advertising from a one-to-one basis. I was always captivated by this movie around Minority Report. In fact, when I had one of my first marketing projects, back in marketing 301 or 101. I remember I had a project with Deepa, who was now my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend, my buddy Shawn Man, and my friend Priya Kali Nisani. We had a project. And the project was to come up with a marketing angle. Our project was to come up with these incredibly personalized advertisements on bus terminals. We would literally create these screens where these bus terminal ads would be personalized to the audience. Now, at that time, back in the early 2000s, we didn't predict the advent of the mobile phone and how ubiquitous it would be, how transformative it would be. In fact, most people don't even look at advertising on the bus terminals. They're just looking at their phones. But what's going to happen with AI is they're going to make advertising personalized. It's going to be a Minority Report experience. It makes sense. When you are chatting with your AIs, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or your Meta AI, it's going to start to learn more about your habits, your desires, your wants, your needs. And at some point, I don't know when this is going to happen, but they're going to unlock the ads. And this is going to turn from a subscription model to more of an advertising-based model. And guess what? The difference between this ad model versus what we previously experienced is that this ad model is going to be incredibly accurate, intimate, and personalized. And so actually, it might be even more relevant and more impactful. Let's say I'm looking for it knows that I'm looking for a gift for my wife, which I am right now. It knows that I have a wife. It knows a little bit more about my wife. Hopefully, it can be able to target more, personalized gifts that I can have for my wife. Or let's say I'm having a baby, which I'm not. But let's say I'm having a baby. I'm researching how to be a great father. What are some tips of having a baby when you're, when they're, a couple weeks old? Maybe we'll start to push more relevant, more personalized advertisements that actually can help me, because 99% of the advertisements that we see are not personalized. They're just throwing these brand awareness campaigns out there, hoping and wishing that a customer is converted. But for the first time ever, because of AI and because of the ability to personalize, that Minority Report effect will happen. And I believe that we're going to start to see the seeds of it in 2025. It may not be with one of the large language models, but it might be with one of the other large language models. Meta seems to be a good candidate, although they haven't really monetized WhatsApp that well in terms of ads, but we'll see what happens with that. So Minority Report advertising is coming. All right, the next prediction is that AI agents go wide and deep. AI agents go wide and deep. Let's talk about the wide to start with. My belief is that what Anthropic has done with their Claude model, their computer use model, is actually incredibly underhyped. As an example of this, when I was at Deloitte, one of the things that we implemented was this thing called robotic process automation, RPA, which is basically an Excel macro on steroids. What we would do is we would install this agent, this Excel macro on a company's network, and what it would be able to do, it would essentially replicate a user's actions, and it would be able to copy data from one place to another. It would be able to credentialize, log in, and it would make people's lives a lot easier. In fact, once you implemented RPA, it was an incredible tool. People were empowered by it. And what's happening with AI agents, and specifically what Anthropic has done with Claude, is that they're going to democratize robotic process automation, meaning as an example of this, you are going to essentially create a process so that the AI learns what you do, and then it will be able to replicate it. So, for example, let's say you are, within finance, and you're creating an invoice. The AI will learn how you create your invoice, how you put that information into a system, the reports you generate, and it will be able to seamlessly recreate that entire process at some point. Now, as somebody that has used Claude's computer use, it's really limited right now. The technology is limited. It sometimes stops. It's slow. It's not that great, like many things that are in the AI revolution, but it's going to get better. And what I like about Claude, as opposed to other platforms that are talking about AI agents like Salesforce and Microsoft, it's that it's technology agnostic. And that is going to be the game changer. The ability to go between different technologies and different platforms and different softwares and be able to have an AI seamlessly go through all of that is going to be a complete game changer. And I only say this because I saw it within the enterprise at a very dumb level. So imagine when it's actually smart. It can actually reason. It can take action. And I think this is going to be incredibly impactful. The reason why I say AI agents is going wide, because they're going to be, Claude is showcasing that this AI can be technology agnostic. It can go across every platform. The reason why I say it's going deep as well is that we're going to see the rise of vertical AI agents, meaning you can have an agent that actually understands a particular industry, a particular process, 1,000 times better. It has unique data. It understands the processes. And so I would say, if you want to build a billion-dollar company today, I would say take a look at all the different software as a service products that have been around for generations, and take a look at what they are doing. And I believe that you can take and build an AI first version of that software as a service, and because we are moving to that age. Now, the flip side is that every company that's a software as a service is doubling down on AI and trying to embed it into what they do. But if you actually build a vertical AI solution, whether it's around medical billing, customer support, QA testing, utility technician testing. I don't know what it might be, but you create a verticalized AI agent that tackles a specific use case with specific data is going to be a game changer. And my belief is that you're going to see way more vertical AI agents come out, just like how you're going to see more wide AI agents like Claude's computer use, being used. Again, Claude's computer use is not great yet. The vertical AI agents are not great yet, but it's going to get great. The other AI prediction for 2025, and maybe I've been making this prediction for the last number of years, but in an AI world, in-person is going to have a renaissance. In-person events, in-person meetups, in-person lunches, dinners is going to have a renaissance. The internet will be inundated with AI content. We're going to get exhausted by all the AI videos, the AI content. We're not going to believe the things that we see on the internet because it's going to be so ubiquitous and easy and abundant. And because of that, we're going to move more towards meeting people in person, having those in-touch experiences, having those dinners, those meetups. You're seeing companies that are in the experience and moment space really blow up. And I believe that net new knowledge will be acquired when you actually go to an in-person hang, an in-person meetup. And I think it's going to be undeniable that in-person is going to be incredible. So if you are in any sort of business where you are in the experience business, you're bringing people together, I think it's going to be incredible. Because people are going to be exhausted by the things that they see online. They're not going to believe the things that they see online. And in person is it. So The last one, the killer app. The killer app for AI is humans. The killer app for AI is humans. Everybody's been trying to find what is the killer app for AI. You know, this week Sora just came out. OpenAI just released Sora. They've been talking about this for about a year now. I remember being on stage in February talking about OpenAI, giving some teasers of what Sora was going to look like. Sora is a text to video platform where you can create these really compelling videos. As somebody that uses text to video extensively within his keynotes and just broader content, I've been using a platform called Runway. Sora is slightly better than Runway, but you know, we'll see where it's going to go. Are people going to adopt Sora in their everyday use cases? Probably not, but it's going to get really good. And I think instead of focusing on the fact that Sora is here and the fact that you can make these really cute animations and videos and really cute films that are, you know, not that realistic, I don't think we're thinking about what the second order implications are. The second order implications are that anything that is digital will be replicated, which I've talked about at length on this podcast. But what happens when anybody around the world can visualize almost anything through an image, through a video? What happens when we can communicate in a fundamentally new way? I believe that what text to video is, it's a new way of communicating. You know, the way that we've communicated traditionally is through the written word, through oral, through images, through pictures, and through video now. And the video piece has always been hard, right? Yes, you can take a video of yourself explaining something, or you can grab something from the internet. But really in human history, we have never been able to create a compelling piece of video that describes our vision. And this is why I believe that Sora, Runway, all these text-to-video platforms are actually so powerful for a user because it helps us create a new communication vehicle, right? We're moving from talking and text to actually visualizing a video that someone in Bangladesh with very little resources can come up with a new form of communication and help us visualize what they're thinking. I mean, that's actually remarkable. And what we've seen throughout history is that the most game-changing technology of all time is language. And so I think that's what the implication of Sora is going to be. But going back to the idea that the killer app is actually humans, the individuals that harness AI, the individuals that become productive, that leverage AI, they become aware, they become productive, they become efficient, they become, they actually use AI, they're going to become superhuman. And so I believe that, I mean, if you're already this far in this podcast, you already see it and you're already using AI, but the killer app right now is humans. And my advice to you, if you are watching this, is to get deep, to leverage, to build skills in this particular space, because you are going to be the killer app in this particular space. The killer app is you. So start building, start creating. It's 2025. We've been in this generative AI revolution for 2 years now. Okay, you've had enough time. Start building and start creating, because you are the killer app. So let's get to some hot topics. Those are my predictions for AI for 2025. We'll revisit that at the end of 2025 to see how I did. So first of all, I just came back from Spain. I organized this trip. Yes, I organized my own 40th birthday, by the way. I organized this trip about a year ago. I called my buddies up and I said, hey, There's only a number of slots that we have. We have 10 slots. And because, you can't have more than 10. It's hard. It's hard to travel. You're already in 2 Ubers. You don't want a third Uber. It's really hard. It gets really expensive. 10 people. We're going to Spain for a week in Madrid, a city that I've never actually been to in my life, and other than in the airport. And we're going to chill. We're going to hang out. And so I booked this a year ago. And so we just had it, and we went for a week. It was absolutely incredible. And I think anybody that goes on a trip like that, especially with a group of guys, it's just like a life-changing experience because I think all guys just need to just go on a trip together and just enjoy. Like, there's nothing like having a guys trip because there's no drama. You get to just you get to talk shit for a week. There's no pauses in the discussion. There's no pause in the conversation. You're talking about all sorts of stuff, from sports to entertainment to media to your wives to your businesses to your careers. It's like it's such a therapeutic experience. And so we had an incredible time. We had wine tours, villa tour, tapas tours. We went to a Real Madrid match. It was epic. It was epic. But there is one thing that I learned from traveling with guys that are now in their 40s. This is my insight, okay? See, in your 20s, when you travel with the guys, everybody can just pack in the room. You just throw as many bodies in the room as possible, okay? You don't have any money. That's what we did when we were young and 20. We had no money. We just throw people in a room, okay? In your 30s, you make a little bit more money. Everybody should have a bed. Okay, in your 30s, everybody should have their own bed. Usually in a room, 3 guys to a room, pretty good. 4 guys is stretching it. 3 guys to a room. 1 person has a bed, another person has a bed, 1 person gets a sofa bed, okay? In your 40s, I think everybody should have their own room. Because what happens is when guys turn 40, they start snoring, okay? And this is going to interrupt everyone else's sleep. So there were a couple times where there's some guys were snoring on the trip, and it did impact people's sleep. So my belief is that when you turn 40, everyone needs their own room. Not their own bed. They definitely need their own bed, but they need their own room. And this is just going to get more expensive. And also in your 40s, you're just more dialed in. You're you know what you want. You know you need a bed. You know you need sleep. Okay? And at 50, I don't know what happens. Maybe at 50, it all goes back. Maybe at 50, you all can go back in one room. You throw as many people in the room as possible. No, it was incredible. It was such a cool trip. And I think my highlight for the trip was, number one, just hanging with all the guys and just chilling. That's what I love to do the most, is just having some wine and just shooting the shit with the guys. Number 2 was we had this epic flag football game outside. And I was so worried about this flag football game because, again, we're all 40 now. So I literally sent a travel health insurance to everybody being guys, we're playing flag football. I don't want anybody to get hurt. So here's the insurance. Just get it, okay? Because flag football is one of the most intense things that you can play. The reason is because you're always sprinting. You're sprinting on defense and you're sprinting on offense. And sure enough, all the guys got incredibly sore for the next couple of days after we played the flag football game in Spain, but it was incredible. Let's keep on going. Time Person of the Year. So there's a lot of candidates around who the Time Person of the Year is going to be. Is it going to be Elon? Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Kamala? Who is it going to be? My Time Person of the Year is Katt Williams. Katt Williams predicted the entire year. He had this epic podcast, the most watched podcast in human history, with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, has over 85 million views on YouTube. He went off at the beginning of the year, talking about all the people that need to be exposed in 2024. And guess what? There's a lot of people that were exposed. Diddy. This week, Hove. Jay-Z. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But Katt Williams went off at the beginning of 2024 And he should be the Time Person of the Year for his contribution to the planet and having the most watched podcast of all time. Katt Williams is my Time Person of the Year. Just incredible podcast, incredibly prescient, and yeah. So with that, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. We're going to have a couple more episodes by the end of the year. We might have a surprise guest, but this was another episode of Dangerous Ideas, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.